Today we're learning the classic song, In My Life, the best Beatles song not to inspire a serial killer yet. And this is actually going to be the version I just posted with my friend Katie. She's actually slaying it. Listen to that because that's the version that I'm specifically teaching. It's pretty true to the original as far as like an accompaniment. I'm also going to link you to the ultimate guitar chord sheet that I worked out in the description. Rocking the D'Angelico Deluxe. And it's really just a few parts with an iconic opening riff. So if you want to hear the first thing first to kind of talk about, to see what we're talking about, maybe do that. We'll come back to it because we're going to start out with just that iconic riff. Okay, so before we get into the chords, we're just going to do the riff. Like I said, iconic, all based around this A major triad. Really simple to do, and it sounds awesome, which is really what we want to learn on a guitar, right? So I am in the humbucking position on this D'Angelico Deluxe SS. All I'm going through is a compressor, Empress compressor, Walrus Audio Slow into a Fender 65 Deluxe reissue. And it sounds like that, okay? So we've got ring finger on the A on the D string, which is the 7th fret. Then we're going to staircase it up just to make that A major triad. If you want to, you can actually get the open A2, and I'm just playing this finger style. You can do it with a pick. It doesn't matter, right? But then after that, after we get this kind of, the way I'm playing it is a rake that stops on the 5th fret of the B string. The reason we want to do that is because we want to separate those two notes. We're going to end up on the A, on the high E string, chord. That's going to be the riff right there. So I'm kind of getting the chord, stopping on the B string, grabbing just the high E string 5th fret, hammer on 6 to 7 on the G string, then getting the 5th fret on the B string, right? And then this guy right here. Alright, now in the chord chart that you'll see that it's actually tabbed out like this for the E major thing. I think it's way easier to go to the 9th fret D string, B string, and open E. Okay, this is coming from E major chord. If you just want to go to like a E major chord shape, like get to that E major shape, and then get the E, D, and B string, or just strum it if you want to. It's a lot easier to do that way. And it sounds mostly right, doing it that way, right? You just get a little more separation doing it the way that I was doing it in the video. Again, play it however you want. It's just a classic song, play it however you want. So, after this, we're going to go into the main bulk of the chord progression. It sounds like this. Okay, now again, I was doing some inflections there, so again, this is like my accompaniment version of this. To play it exactly like you want to do it in the Beatles, maybe check out another video. This is just showing how the chords are and maybe kind of my thoughts behind the accompaniment. So we have A major, all right, open A, 2D, 2G, 2B. And again, I'm stopping on the B string. So I'm playing a finger style where I'm just getting those middle 4 strings a lot of the time. And again, I'm going A, D, chord, maybe like a little bit of a mute. And then doing the same thing on open E major chord. Open E, 2A, 2D, 1G. And now I just move my fingers 1 string lower to kind of get that, right? F minor, F sharp minor to A7, okay? The F sharp minor is really easy when you play it like this because we're making it an F sharp minor 7, where it's just the 2nd fret all the way across, skipping just the A string. So I've got 2E, 2D, 2G, and 2B. Alright, so A major, E major, F sharp minor. Then we're going to go back to A, but we're going to play A7, alright? So, you can even just play a regular A major chord if you want. A7 kind of sounds really cool right here. Open A, 2D, open G, 2B. That's the difference between A7, short for A dominant 7. We just take this note, make it an open G. And then I'm going to grab the G on the low E string. That's why sometimes you'll see this notated or on the chord chart as like an A7/G, because that just means we have an A7 with a G in the bass. So it's like an inversion of an A, because G is in the chord A7, as we know by that open G string. But we're going to add that to the chord. So A major, E major, F sharp minor 7, A7. Going to grab that bass note, almost kind of walking it into this D major to minor run. Again, a really common Beatles move that you'll hear in a lot of their songs is they'll take a fine looking triad like this right here, regular D major, 2 on the high E string, 3 on the B string, 2 on the G string, and then change it to minor. Oh, so sexy. Oh, the Beatles. Now the way I'm playing it is I'm kind of inflecting it just by doing like a little hammer-on the high E string, and then coming back to the minor part after that. So the way that would sound in context would be A major, E major, F sharp minor, A7, D with the inflection. And then I go right from that D into that minor. Again, you could just play it D major, D minor, then back to A. I just think it sounds cool to kind of add that inflection, make that inflection a little bridge from major to minor, because that note right there is also shared in the key of A major or A minor. Again, just different notes that you have at your disposal. And then the thing that I really love about this is having this A major again, and then opening the B string to technically make it an A suspended 2. Again, don't get bogged down by the names of all these chords. A lot of it is just playing around with the chords and adding different inflections, right? That's why this voicing of an A major right here, where I'm using my middle finger, my ring finger, and my pinky, even though a lot of times it could be a lot easier just to bar it, it's harder to open that string up. When you have your pinky here, you just take your pinky off. Okay? Then that repeats. A, E, F sharp, A7 with the G, D, hammer on minor, A. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, there you go. I just missed the minor chord on that part. Doesn't really matter. I'm just playing around, just jamming. Right? So we do that 2 times. Then we're going to go to the next part, the next chord progression, and we're going to start on the F sharp minor. It's F sharp minor to D. Again, you could easily play an open D. I just kind of like moving around because I can't stay still. I'd probably have some kind of undiagnosed medical condition. But I jump to this D major, where it's just like 5A, and then 7, 7, 7 from that F sharp minor. You could easily just do this F sharp minor to E, or to D major right here. Right? And then we're going to go G. Okay, this is G to A. You don't have to do it like this. You can easily do G to A. There's just different voicings, some different options that you might have and choose to use in this song. Any other arrangement you ever might want to do. But it sounds really cool, I think, going from F sharp minor to this D major. Okay, I'm taking a G major bar chord, because I'm not barring anything. I'm just getting 3E, 5A, 5D, 6G, leaving the B and E strings open. Kind of has like an open, ringy sound to it. And I think the more that you can incorporate a lot of the open strings, if you're in a key that supports that, I think the better when it comes to maybe just like a solo guitar accompanying a singer. Just because it adds a lot of depth to a performance, in my opinion, you know, whatever. So we can do the same thing from that G to A. And you hear that I kind of rake it. Just taking my pointer finger, fingernail, raking it down, and then hitting the high E string on the way back up. So, okay, sounds pretty cool. F sharp minor to D major. Pick through the G, A, back to F sharp minor, B7. Okay, so the second time you go around that, It starts the same way. It starts on the F sharp minor chord. Same voicing that I've always been using the entire time. But now instead of going to the D like we did the first time, we're going to go to B7 or B major. I think in the chord chart it might just say B major, but again, taking it to B7 because we're sexy around here, right? Middle finger 2 A, pointer finger 1 D, ring finger 2 G, pinky 2 on the high E string, right? And then I'm kind of just picking through it. A, D, G, E, skipping the B string entirely, because why would I need a B in a B chord? All right, so the second time around we got that F sharp minor, B7 to D minor, and then I think I play it differently each time. Sometimes I pick through that D minor. I can leave the high E string open. It's another thing I love doing with D minor chords in this key, or in any key really, adding an open E to it to kind of get like a minor 9 sound, and then just moving this shape, one string lower, and then ending the entire phrase on that open A chord. Okay, so we have the verse chords, which is what we'll call them, that A major, E major, F sharp to the 7, A7 with the G and the bass, D, inflected to minor, A suspended, A major, E major, F sharp minor, A7, bass note, D, minor, then to the F sharp minor, to D major, open G, kinda, to A, next time F sharp minor, B7, D minor, and then we can go back to the riff. However you want to end it, you know what I mean? I think in the original song they go to like an E7 chord voicing back to A to end it, but again, it's up to you. One last thing I want to mention that I didn't talk about, when I went to the, I guess we'll call it the chorus maybe, the F sharp minor part, after you the E, A, E, F sharp minor, to the 7, D. Walk it to the F sharp minor, right? So again, we've used E a lot of times in this song. And again, when we start the chorus on just that F sharp minor, walk it to the root note. Something you can always do. Again, this note, the first fret on the E string, is just F. It's not really in this song. But if we sneak it in there between the open E, 1, does a couple different things. One, it buys our hand more time to maybe get to that F sharp minor, right? Because we just came from walk it. Thank you for the time. I can take that time to make the best of it. Another thing between the G and the A, anytime you have chords that are next to each other, just feel free to take that bass note and take it for a walk. Sounds good. Again, maybe not in an arrangement with a whole band because you could be clashing with other instruments, but when it's just solo electric guitar, acoustic guitar, feel free to take those bass lines for a walk because nobody is standing in your way except for maybe a singer, but if she gives you a hard time, you can send her my way and I'll set him or her straight with fancy guitar knowledge and fantastic instruction and affordable masterclasses linked in the description below. So definitely take some time to learn this one. It's a cool one. Last thing I will talk about is I do one variation of the main riff. I did it that way. It's kind of stupid for me to teach how I'm improvising on one of the great riffs ever made, but I might as well just do it in case somebody's wondering. So it starts the same way, right? Then when we get to this part, all it is, we're kind of ending on that E major chord, hammer on 9 to 10 on the B string, and then a string lower, G string, 9, 7, 6, 4 to the A. Okay, so I think it sounds cool. Because you're kind of backing off that way anyways. You might as well throw some notes in there. Have a good time. That's what it's all about, having a good time. So if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. Maybe suggestions on other Beatles songs or classic songs that you want me and Katie to cover, or whoever. Let me know. Have a good time. Talk to you soon. Thanks.